We begin this half hour with the fraud trial of the former pharmaceutical CEO dubbed the most hated man in America. Prosecutors asking the judge to issue a gag order for Martin Shkreli after his latest public social media rant. ABC's Lindsay Davis is here with more on this story. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Amy. Both the prosecution and his own lawyer are eager for Martin Shkreli, a.k.a. Pharma Bro, to stop talking and posting on social media. But it doesn't seem to be working. For more than 12 hours yesterday, Shkreli streamed live footage of himself, at one point telling anyone who was listening that he's planning out his next moves. Just one day after prosecutors asked a judge for a gag order, infamously outspoken pharmaceutical CEO Martin Shkreli appeared on his YouTube live stream. For multiple hours Tuesday, the 34-year-old hedge fund manager, notorious for raising the price of an HIV and cancer drug by 5,000%, sang Madonna's Like a Virgin.
Like a virgin.
Or we can also describe that autoionization like this, that if I have one water molecule,
watched House of Cards.
I thought you saw what I saw.
And popped bubble wrap. Late Monday, prosecutors filed a motion to silence Shkreli, saying he embarked on a campaign of disruption by surprising reporters in an overflow room in court during his trial for charges of securities fraud, calling the prosecution junior varsity, dismissing testimony against him from an alleged victim, and complaining, "I think the world blames me for almost everything." The self-proclaimed Pharma Bro is famous for his stream of consciousness video chats.
I don't really care about people hating me.
He's currently on trial for securities fraud. Prosecutors are also asking to ban him from social media, worrying his comments may taint the jury. His attorney objected to that order. But outside court Friday, he told CNBC Shkreli should stick to his right to remain silent.
I would very much appreciate it if he did not talk to the press.
Since his first arrest in 2015, Shkreli hasn't shied away from the spotlight.
Attention is not something I'm desperate for or crave, but if it's there, and I don't have to work for it and send one tweet out and it drives people crazy, why not?
On Twitter, he called lawmakers on Capitol Hill imbeciles. But in court, his attorney defended his client with a Lady Gaga quote, saying Shkreli was born this way. His lawyer also defended his client to jurors, saying maybe he's just nuts, but that doesn't legally make him guilty. Shkreli has entered a plea of not guilty. So far, one investor has testified that she initially felt betrayed by him, but later admitted she ultimately got her money back and made close to $2 million. Amy?
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Let's bring in crimeonline.com Nancy Grace in Atlanta with more on this. And Nancy, Shkreli's own lawyer called his Twitter history horrific. But how unusual is it for prosecutors to ask for this type of a gag order?
It's very unusual for prosecutors to come out and ask for a gag order. Sometimes I have seen defense attorneys ask for a gag order so the evidence about the trial doesn't get out there before the jury hears it for themselves. This is very, very unusual, but frankly, Shkreli has brought this on himself. Now, here's the deal. This trial has nothing to do with him hiking the price of one pill, Daraprim, for cancer and HIV patients. It costs 17 cents to make it. It was selling for $13 and he hiked it to $750. That's not what this is about. This is about securities fraud, and that seems so esoteric. This is why it's important. Securities fraud came into effect, the laws, after the crash. Think about my dad working for the railroad, my mom crunching a computer till 10 o'clock at night, and they invest their money. Well, what the state says Shkreli did is this. He took these people's money and used it to pay off bad investments in a whole nother business. Would you invest your money if that's what you thought he was going to do with it, your hard-earned money? So yes, he may be right that his investors were paid off. They didn't lose any money. But the fact is, if the charges are true, hardworking people invested their money and were scammed. That's the problem.
Yeah, and Nancy, the defense arguing the gag order would violate his right to free speech. What do you think the chances are the judge will impose, you're laughing, impose that gag order on him?
Listen, if the Founding Fathers had any idea that one day Martin Shkreli would whine about free speech, they'd roll over in their graves, okay? Free speech is really to protect political speech, to protect right of religion and what you want to say, not to protect yourself in court from getting to get around a prosecution. I think there's a very good chance that the gag will be put in place.
All right. We will see what he does with that. Nancy Grace, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
He's always very clear.
Yes.